The opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Consult a financial professional before you invest. Remember to educate yourself first and have the ability to ask the right questions. Hold your financial professional accountable. You and only you are accountable to your wealth and legacy. Welcome to the Wealthy Bucket. In today's session, we will be discussing money management. During the session today, we will cover these 4 points: the purpose of money management, determining a money management formula, applying your money management formula, and psychology in money management. As always, we will be covering these topics in later sessions and in more depth. The purpose of money management from an investor point of view is to ensure that the investor retains more of the profit over a period of time. This is accomplished through a stringent set of guidelines that the individual investor sets for themselves. The guidelines assist the investor with the balancing act between taking too many investments and not being prepared in the event that all investments turn out to be poor. Investing is a game of statistics. There will be some weeks and months where you can't lose. Then there are weeks and months where you just can't get it right. Should the investor have a great trading plan, we covered this topic in another session, is able to manage the money, and has a solid business plan, we will cover this topic in a future session, then we feel that the investor will position themselves very well to generate income and create a lasting legacy. The caveat is that the investor must be able to follow the rules that they set out for themselves. We will cover investor psychology briefly in this session and will also be featured in future sessions. Investors should hold themselves accountable. Remember, you worked hard for your money. Learn to keep it and make it work. Let's talk about your money management formula. First, be realistic with how much money you'd like to start with. Through our experience, investors who have a lot of money settle for too little return. They hold on to their money like a life preserver. Investors who are undercapitalized, by contrast, expect to hit home runs and change their respective life circumstance in one investment idea. An investor does not require to start their investment account with $100,000 to generate decent returns. Nor should an investor expect to turn $2,000 into $100,000. Nothing is impossible. However, the investor should be looking for an idea that is a little more probable. Marinate on that. If you are starting your investment account with less than $10,000, then you should seriously consider holding off until you are properly capitalized. Remember to treat your investment account like a business. How can an underfunded business survive? Now think about how an underfunded investment account can survive. If you are still thinking of hitting home runs, then you really need not to continue with Wealthy Bucket. There's a difference between how much money an investor is willing to use and how much an investor is willing to lose. My friend once asked, how much should I start my account with? Should it be an amount that I'm okay losing? Absolutely not. The amount of money that you're willing to lose should never be 100%. How much an investor is willing to use is their cash till. Basically, the investor sets guidelines that does not allow them to use more than a specified amount of cash from their investment account. We will illustrate this momentarily. The investor should set forth a rigid risk to reward ratio and endeavor to follow it at all times. Take a moment to view our session on trading plan. With a predetermined risk to reward ratio for each investment and a predetermined maximum allowable loss for any given week or month, the investor will be able to determine what can be lost at any given time. By incorporating a money management system into your portfolio, the investor will have a much easier time position sizing and controlling the number of investments within that portfolio. One of the more common errors by an investor is having too many investments within that portfolio. When the market turns on their portfolio, the exposure is high and comes at a very, very high cost. Design a business plan for your investment account. If you really want to embrace change, then do things differently and keep an open mind to change and always be adaptable. We will illustrate to investors on how, in our opinion, to build a business plan for their investment accounts in future sessions. This is a very general and basic example of what we've been discussing during this session. We have put together a broad stroke of what a documented money management formula should look like. Feel free to customize your own and make it as detailed as you'd like. Take a look at this example. There is an indication of the following: starting capital, max working capital, so the investor's cash till. In this example, the investor will not commit more than $15,000 at any one time. This does not mean the investor will place all $15,000 into one investment. The investor can choose to do so if they'd like. This example is also specifying what each trade plan reward to risk ratio must adhere to and what this investor is willing to risk on any given week. Incorporating a trading plan, a money management system, and a business plan into an investment account will definitely hold you accountable. That's if you can follow your own rules. That leads us to the psychology of money management. It's difficult to cover the topic of investor psychology in one session, let alone one slide. We will briefly go over some general points when it comes to the psychology of money management. Operate your investment account as a functioning business. Business owners would not keep underperforming employees on their payroll. So why should an investor hold onto underperforming assets? Think about that. If the investor is diligent with their documentation, then their own rules and guidelines are continuously in their face. This action assists with the affirmation of what the investor should and should not be doing. Investors generally have a difficult time following their own rules. This can be due to lack of self-confidence with their decision-making skills and other life stresses that affect their decision-making process. We feel that in order to be successful at any skill in life, one should endeavor to have a mentor or become an apprentice. Also, find or create a mastermind group. Investing and navigating the markets can be lonely and sometimes even boring. Arm yourself with a group of people with specialized knowledge and never give up. We sincerely appreciate you investing your time with Wealthy Bucket. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.